Hello and welcome to Iron Harvest 1920 Plus tutorial series basics guide. I haven't decided on a name, despite the fact this is the second time I'm recording this because I had a horrible buffeting noise the first time and I have no idea why. Hopefully it works out this time. It doesn't look like it's dying. Noises look fine. I had to move the microphone though because I think it was my computer chucking. Anyway, my name is the Von. I've got about 1600 hours in Iron Harvest, most of which wasn't spent looking at the main menu screen, despite what many may think. So I consider myself to know a fair bit about the game. And so here I am, making a tutorial for new players. This will be the first part in hopefully a multi-part series, going through multiple, everything I can possibly think of about Iron Harvest that new players would like to know, and maybe even what some older players would like to know as well, because who knows, maybe they just don't know things, and that they should. It's going to start extremely basic, so if you have experience with Iron Harvest and aren't interested in my snarky comments, I would suggest skipping the first video, maybe even the second. But if you're sticky around, then stick around, feel free, I'm not going to stop you. Yeah, I can't remember what I said in the previous one, so I'm just going to start here, and then when inspiration strikes me, I'm going to remember it and say it in a really awkward time. This first episode, we're going to go over the menu. Yeah, I told you I was starting basic. Do you know how a menu works? Or the menu? You probably don't want to be here because you probably know it all. But I'll go a little bit more in depth than you may think. Okay, here's where we start. Here's your profile on the left. Here's your medal count. Here's your profile picture. Here's your name. Here's your title. Here's a banner. And here's your level, and here's your level progression. Since I'm maxed out, it's just at the end. It's not that I'm close to the next level. Here's profile. Here you can find more player levels, faction levels, your multiplayer rank, and a few of the unlocks. I've already unlocked everything, so you can't see anything new. Next you have achievements, which are broken up into all these different categories and give coins, titles, banners, portraits, nice things. Medals. You could also use medals at times. Finally, you have cosmetics. This is where you can customize this. You've got portraits, portrait frames, banners, face plates, titles. Next you have loading screen art, which obviously isn't part of that, and controls what is on your loading screen. I made the same joke last time, so I'm very proud of myself. With this, you can view things. So for instance, I can click this to see what it looks like in full screen. I'll close all of that because it showed up my task manager and scared me. Really end it. There we go. Perfect. And yeah, this is what my loading screen would look like, plus the loading bar. Very exciting news. You can also get out of it by clicking this. Most of these are unlocks. I forgot to say, almost everything you see is an unlock. I don't purchase most things, but you can purchase stuff. So here's stuff you can purchase. Up here is your coin count. Again, it's earned by doing season missions, which I'll get to later, and doing achievements. Next you have unit skins, which are broken up into faction, into mechs, and then you can put different stuff on your mechs. Pretty simple. All the mechs are here. There are no infantry skins or hero skins. It is purely the mechs and these common units. Finally, there is the redeem code button. If you've been given a code by CAG or someone who got a code from CAG, which is King Art Games, who are the developer, you would input it here, click submit, whammo, blammo, done. That is profile. That's probably actually one of the heftier parts. Next you have the season tree, which every season, multiplayer season, there is this season tree that unlocks incrementally in 5 episodes. By going through this, you get coins, profile pictures, faceplates, banners, I don't think you get any titles from this. You do it by completing these little missions, and then as you complete more, you get these unlocks, and then once you have all of them unlocked, you can get the big reward at the very end. That's the season tree. Finally, you have party. So if you're interested in multiplayer, whether that be co-op or just team games, this is where you'll need to go. Oh, sorry. if you want to do it with friends. If you're doing it solo, then you don't need the party system because who cares? So, here are your options. Create party or enter invite code. If you are the party host or intending to be, this is what you'll click. If you are receiving an invite code, you'll click join party to do this. You'll put the code in, then you'll click join party. So, if we are hosting a game, we click create party. It'll pop up with the people we can invite, which are on Steam. If you're on a different platform, I'm not sure how it works entirely. Or if your friend is on a different platform, you'll need to use an invite code. So, for example, if I wanted to invite someone, I'd click Blam, and they would receive a Steam invite. If I wanted to invite someone who's on a different platform, or if Steam invites were just being sketchy for some reason, I would click create invite code, and I would copy this, and I would send it to them. Next thing you know, they would receive the code, they join, their picture would appear here, and we'd be able to go queue. Now, a few things to be aware of with this. If you're in a menu, it'll appear like this, with the little, where it'll be grayed out, or blacked out, I guess, and it'll have the little stopwatch over it, indicating the player is not ready. You'll also see not all players are ready. You cannot queue if any of the players in your party are not ready. If any of your players claim they are ready, or they're not in a menu, but they have the symbol, tell them to go into a menu and come out. If the problem doesn't resolve itself, go onto the Discord and get help. The Discord will be linked in the description. It is also available down here. I will mention it again because I forget about this sort of thing. To disband a party, you'll click ban. If you want to queue, you'll go multiplayer, quick match, ranked, whatever, and you'll just queue normally. I'll go into this later. But yeah, that's everything you need to know about the party. Next, we move on to campaign. So Iron Harvest has got a total of 5 campaigns if you own all of the DLC. In the base game, there are 3 campaigns for the 3 main factions, Polania, Rusviet, and Saxony. Each one contains 7 missions and I think 8 cutscenes, give or take. Then you have the Operation Eagle DLC, which adds Usonia. And it also adds a 7 mission campaign with 8 cutscenes. There is also a small story DLC called Rusviet Revolution that adds 2 cutscenes and 4 missions. Those are all the campaigns. You click continue, it'll take you to the most recent save that you've made, assuming your save is valid. Sometimes updates will invalidate saves. Generally, King Art Games will tell you before that update hits. But, you know, better err on the side of caution. Next, you have Overview. You click Overview to access all of your missions that you've unlocked and all of the videos you've unlocked. I won't go any further because it's spoilers, but I will go to A Path to Hope just to show you. Actually, no, Railroad. This is where you get your medals. This primary amount is how much you get for completing the mission, the primary objectives. Then the secondary objectives will net you this amount of XP, and then for completing these mission challenges will give you slightly more XP. To get a platinum medal, you need to do all of the above, everything. Note that the difficulty does not matter. It can be easy, medium, or hard. So if you're going for platinum medals and you're not a die-hard, get everything on hard, you can play it on easy, and it's easier. Shocker. Yeah, that's everything you really need to know about this. You earn medals by doing the missions. Note that you don't need to do the missions 4 times. It will unlock everything below the highest medal you've got. So if you unlock the platinum, you'll also unlock the gold, the silver, and the bronze. This is also where you'll start co-op. Co-op works in a very similar way to the party. If you're already in a party and you click start co-op, you go straight into the system, click go. If you're not, it'll open up a lobby and you'll invite them and you'll click go. You can also start the mission here. And of course go back. We're going to go back because I'm not going into that for now. Finally, you have load game. You can load the saves. I'll just delete them. Very excited. Not much more to tell you there. Next we move on to missions, which is where you can access skirmish, challenges, and load game. I just realized that in my first run I didn't talk about challenges. Oh, I'm lucky that first one failed, aren't I? So, first you have skirmish. Skirmish has all your maps that you've unlocked. Note that if you don't own all the DLCs, you'll have less maps than this. Oh, sorry. If you don't own Operation Eagle and the base game, you'll have less maps, as far as I'm aware. First things first, you have the game mode. Dominance. There are a number of VPs where you capture them, hold them for a long time, and you win. Drop Zone, where there are magic crates that fall from the sky, you capture them and you gain magic points, and eventually you win. Finally, Annihilation, where you beat the hell out of your opponent until you win. Or lose. But just remember that you can lose. Next, you have the Players menu, where you can control the power of the AI, the faction it's picked, as well as its color and your own color. You can also change the starting positions. If you're on a bigger map, this can be more relevant. Where is it? And you can customize it more. It goes up to 3v3. 1v1, 2v2, 3v3. There is nothing beyond that. There is modded free-for-all, but you'll need to find that, and you'll have to mod your game to be able to do that. Next you have rules. This is a skirmish only thing. You can't do this in multiplayer, but basically you can adjust these to give yourself more of a challenge, and they are required if you want to get the platinum medal on the map. Each map has medals that you earn, same as the campaign missions. To get a platinum medal, you only need one maxed out, and the other two can be on silver, or you can have 2 golds and 1 bronze, or you can just max it out because you're good at the game. And of course the AI needs to be on insane. Finally, you get to settings. This way you can control the victory conditions, so destroy HQ on off. Basically, if destroy HQ is on, when your HQ is destroyed, or sorry, all of yours and allied HQs are destroyed, you lose. If it's off, you just can rebuild and it doesn't matter. Next, you have victory points, which is how many victory points are required to win or lose. Or win, sorry. So you can have it very short, very long. It is irrelevant in Annihilation. Next, you have time limit, which means the game's going to end after a while. As far as I'm aware, if it's Annihilation and you haven't annihilated the other person before the end of the timer, it's just a draw. I don't think there's any special, oh well, I had an advantage, so I won. But yeah, if it's a regular game, it's just whoever has more VPs. Next, you have settings, which are again you just have settings. These control the resources and the army size, so that's your pop cap. This is the default for multiplayer, the things you see here. So 500 VPs, default, as well as the game mode will either be dominance or drop zone. Note these rules won't be in effect. Right, I think that's everything for skirmish. Next we have challenges, which are basically really hard campaign missions with various modifiers and extra challenges to make them more difficult. There are 4 at the moment. To the Last Man is a Polanian mission where you defend. Stronghold Siege is a Polanian mission where you attack. Hold the Line is a Rusiet mission where you defend. And Fortress City is a Saxonian mission where you defend. Note, I've just described them very similarly, but they play all very differently. Basically, the way you do that, you start them, you complete the missions, you get the medals, more medals, da-da. Finally, there's the load game button. I actually don't know if this does anything. I've never saved a skirmish match, even if you can. But I don't have anything, and I can't prove it. So trust me, bro. Finally, get to multiplayer. I'm gonna break the cycle a bit. I'm gonna start with custom game. So custom game is basically the same as a party, except when you create the lobby, you will go into magic. This. You have all your controls of stuff here. Time limit, da-da-da. You can invite friends, which works the same way as it did before. And you can add AI. AIs can be controlled with what they have, the factions they pick, as well as their difficulty. If you want to move them around, you click on this stuff down here, and you can move yourself. Sorry. And if you want to kick a player, because you are the host, you click kick this player. If you're not the host, you can't click that, funnily enough. Once you have sufficient players in, you can, start the match. To note to start, everyone needs to be readied up. AI will be readied up by default as well as yourself, the host. But if you're a player, there will be a ready button that you need to click. Note that every time settings change, you will need to click it again. So probably be patient if the host is screwing around with settings. Also, you can close slots if you wish to do an uneven game of some kind. You can also open the lobby, which allows players who are queuing for custom matches to join randomly. While we're talking about that, we'll talk about custom games. So here's your matchmaking. Quick matchmaking is basically there is no SR involved, which is your ranked points, and it will match you up randomly. It'll just grab a player and be like, you're playing with this person now. It does have some MMR involved in that it generally tries to match you with players of your own skill, but we don't know the MMR, so I can't promise you anything. It'll also match you with ranked players after about 5 minutes. If there is no one in quick match for you. So note that you don't lose SR when playing against a person in ranked and you're in quick. But things are the same for them as if they were playing another ranked player. Except I think some of the numbers might be different. So here are your 3 game modes. You can queue for as many or as few as you like. Note that if you want to queue for custom games of a certain type, you also need to pick the option you want. So if I wanted a 3v3 custom game, I'd do 3v3 custom games. Then click Find Match. Ranked is extremely similar, except that you only have 1v1, 2v2, and 3v3 available. Custom games are not an option in Ranked. This is the Ranked screen. You can find your rank, your SR, your matches played, your victories, your season playtime, da-da-da-da-da. Here is the info about the various leagues. If this is something of interest to you, pause the video and read it. If not, more points means go higher means better, apparently. Finally, we have the leaderboard with the rank of the player, their profile, their name, their rating, their win-loss ratio, and their most played faction and hero. Note that this only shows the top 200 players. If you are not in the top 200, you won't see yourself on the leaderboard. Yep, that's about everything here. Wow, that's a lot of Brunhilde. I've only just noticed how many Brunhildes there are. Right, that's everything for multiplayer. Finally, we head into options. Psych, I'm going to go down here first. So, here's the bug report button. Click this, you can report bugs to the devs and they will hopefully fix them. Next, you have the Discord button. You click this to join the Discord. Joining the Discord is a really good idea because there's tons of players, tons of experience, and you know, it's a nice community to be part of. If you want to find me, that's generally where I hang out. Finally, you have the Reddit. Kind of like the Discord, except it's a Reddit. There will be a link to the Discord in the description. There won't be a link to the Reddit because I don't like Reddits. Don't ask why. Finally, options. Here you'll find settings. Settings are pretty self-explanatory. You know, damage numbers, experience numbers, da-da-da-da-da. Here is native mode. Native mode means the factions will speak in their native language. So if it's Rusviet, they'll speak in Russian. Saxony, they'll speak German. Polanian, they'll speak Polish. Usonian, they'll speak English. No matter who you're playing as. So if I'm playing as Saxony, I can hear the Polish troops speaking Polish, which is pretty neat, especially if you speak all 4 languages. I don't, so I'd have it turned off, and I have it set to English. You can also control the text language and all that in the spoken language. FPS counter, ping, match time. I advise turning the match time on. It helps with timings. Display clock, which I have on because I need to know how terrible of an hour I'm up till. I will not tell you what time I'm recording this, but I'm an idiot. Display chat on a hover. You generally want to disable this because you can accidentally open your chat and it can stop, and it stops your mouse and screws with you, so disable that nonsense. In-game chat, I suggest you have it on, as well as in-game pings. Unless you're dealing with a troll. If you're dealing with a troll, you can disable these. Next, you have your colors. Note that these are client side, so if you have your player color set as green, that doesn't necessarily mean your allies see you as green, or your enemies, or anyone really, except you. So maybe don't try to coordinate based on color unless you talk with your teammates and set it up beforehand. Finally, a bunch of confirmation pop-ups, you'll see them as you play through. And data privacy, most likely you just accept all these because otherwise your game might not function properly. Graphics are cool. Set them high as you can, because high is neat. Lower though, noticeably, it doesn't have that much of an effect on FPS, so. Motion blur, turn it off because it's stupid. Audio is audio. Turn it up, down. Generally turn your cutscene volume down, it's quite loud. Cutscene subtitles. You want them on, I think they're off by default. Finally, controls. Controls how much you zoom about. Your camera controls, these are your hotkeys. Unit selection keys, ability buttons. Pretty sure half of these abilities aren't used. Reverse move, this is a very important thing that you'll use. I'll cover it more in a combat tutorial. Selecting groups, user interface, chat, switch channel. There's 2 channels that you can use. Be aware of that, especially if you want to be sneaky. And of course you can reset. That's everything from settings. Next we head into Codex. Codex has a bunch of stats for units. Note that it's not especially accurate. Sometimes it's wrong, sometimes it's generalized. So if you are interested in the actual numbers and aren't willing to go through the game yourself to find every single one, there is a stat sheet. You can find it on the Discord. Someone will give it to you, otherwise it is pinned in general multiplayer. It's a Google Doc. Next you have the lore. I won't stay on that too long, but basically there's lore for nigh on every character in the game. Finally, tutorials. You'll gain more of these as you play the game, so you can check back on them to teach yourself stuff that you might have forgotten, whatever. But generally you'll learn it as you play, so these are pretty irrelevant to you. And yeah, finally you have the, I keep saying finally. Finally you have the credits. Where you can view who made this game possible. Thank you for the tooltip. I'm not going to click on this because it's a very long video. There's a huge amount of Kickstarters and that sort of thing. But if you're naming this in the game and you want to go find it, this is the place to go. Otherwise, yeah, it's a neat little video with a bunch of Jakub Lazarski's art, who is, of course, the owner of 1920 Plus. Anyway, not important. Finally, the quit game button. So if you've lost 3 times in a row and you're sick of life, that's the button to press. If you click it and it doesn't kill the game, click Alt F4. Shouldn't have to explain this stuff to you people. You play video games, don't you? Yep, that's everything for the first tutorial. Maybe I'll come up with a fancy name for it. Maybe it'll be a Mechorial or something. Yeah, that's about everything. That was your crash course to Iron Harvest 1920 Plus's main menu and a bunch of other random stuff that got thrown in. There will be more tutorials coming regarding things like reserves, gameplay tips, faction-specific information. There's a bunch of playthroughs on my channel of things like challenges, the missions, as well as some of the campaign missions that I found difficult. If you can't find them there might be some on Twitch. If you happen to find me streaming, come on and tell me that it was hard and I'll do it just to prove you wrong. And that can be your tutorial. And that's about everything that I'm going to cover today. Oh, final thing. Get on the Discord or the Reddit. Get involved with the community. It's a great community. It's very friendly. There are a bunch of content creators who will be listed down below. They have Twitches as well as YouTubes at times. You can find gameplay, funny videos, I don't know, all sorts of different things. Finally, I have a Twitch. I'm not too active because my computer is dying. I can tell by the weird noises it makes every now and then. But if you want to find me at twitch.tv/the_Von, I think it's linked in my YouTube. I will not tell you where to find my YouTube because you should have found it by now, judging from where this video is. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on the Discord. I'm also the Von. Or ask in the comments. I will probably reply because I don't get that many comments. What else? Oh yeah. Hopefully this becomes a series and I do more videos. If so, they'll be in a what are these things called? Playlist. Which will probably also be in the description. As well as the link to the Discord. I'm really plugging the Discord. Join the Discord. Yeah, that's everything. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hopefully it isn't too choppy.